6 Coronation Street spoilers subsequent week. Kid Green takes violent revenge and Jason Grimshaw returns. Theo receives a surprise. Carl is as much as no excellent and Carla has a question. 1. Brody Michaelis breaks into Kid Green's flat. Brody tenses as he listens to a message from his dad. And later, Kid returns domestic to locate Brody smashing up his flat, revealing that Mick has confident him he is harmless and that it is a police stitch-up. Kit flippantly tells Brody that the proof indicates in any other case and that Mick is a violent man. Brody sees pink and costs at Kit, sending him crashing into the wall, and the youngsterager rushes out together along with his hoodie masking his face whilst Bernie Winter and Sarah Platt arrive. The following day, Lisa tells Kit that Bernie has given Brody an alibi, and a fuming Kit confronts Bernie, telling her he ought to both inform Lisa she changed into mistaken, or rake Bernie with perverting the direction of justice. Bernie reminds Kit that Brody is family, forcing Kit to confess to Sarah that he slept with Lou Michaelis and so Brody can be his son. Kit later tells Brody that he is inclined to withdraw the housebreaking rate if he remains out of hassle in order now no longer to show out like Mick. Brody confronts Bernie, looking to recognize why she furnished him with an alibi. Will Bernie inform him the fact approximately Kit? 2. Kid Green makes Mick Michaelis go through a mid-plea listening to. In his jail cell, Mick lies at the ground after struggling a beating. Lou visits Mick and is stunned to hear his injuries. Mick tells her that Kit organized his assault and spelled out that if he would not plead guilty, the subsequent beating could be worse. Lou returns from the listening to and famous to Brody that his dad pleaded now no longer guilty. While Brody is thrilled, Lou hasn't the coronary heart to inform him there could be a fee to pay. Will Kit maintain his promise and plan a 2D assault for Mick? Also this week, Lou is sacked with the aid of using Maria Connor and bumps into Maria's husband Gary Windass. Lou tells Gary she's sorry Mick gave him a beating. However, she's had lots herself over the years. Gary feels sorry for Lou and buys her a drink. However, how will Maria react? 3. Jason Grimshaw returns amid surprise thought in Julie Karp homicide accusations. Eileen tells Brian Packham and George Shuttleworth that the medication discovered in Julie's machine had been the painkillers prescribed for her. Now no longer Julie. When Brian makes an harmless remark, Eileen snaps and bans him from the funeral. As George attempts to consolation Eileen, he feels out of his intensity and confides in Todd Grimshaw that the whole thing he does appears to bother Eileen. The day of the funeral arrives and Eileen palms Brian a letter from Julie. After studying it, Brian confronts Eileen over Julie's lifestyles coverage policy, asking why she failed to say that she's the simplest beneficiary. Eileen assures Brian that she knew not anything approximately until after Julie's dying. Tracy Barlow means that Eileen deliberate Julie's dying to get maintain of her money. And an incensed Eileen rages at George over the truth that Julie's wake is ruined. In the pub, the mourners play Julie's dream recreation and George tells Eileen that his dream is to marry her. A taken aback Eileen is stored from answering with the aid of using Jason's surprising arrival. However, as George hovers and waits for her response, what is going to Eileen say? And as we seize up with Jason, what has he been as much as in his time away? 4. A blast from Theo Silverton's Beyond arrives. A downcast Theo famous that his youngsters in no way confirmed up for breakfast as arranged. When Theo spies something on Todd's phone, he is left troubled. What is it? Things take an annoying flip at Julie's wake, whilst a person referred to as Noah enters the pub and waves to Billy Mayhew. Theo hurries out, and whilst he tells Todd that Noah changed into Gift at some stage in his conversion therapy, Todd is appalled. Will he confront Noah and reveal the latter's moves to Billy, who appears to recognize Noah? 5. Carl Webster makes dodgy deal. Ronnie Bailey introduces Debbie Webster to his antique flame Fiona, and Debbie is placed out. Ronnie assures her that Fiona is only a friend. And Debbie makes out she's now no longer stricken earlier than identifying to play him at his personal recreation and permit him assume she has a brand new boyfriend. Carl warns Ronnie away and bars him from the hotel. And the two guys rectangular up. The following day, Fiona gives Ronnie a task promoting on a stolen car. And he offers a patron his nice income pitch. When the person famous his spouse currently died. Though, Ronnie is thrown and refuses to promote the car. Ronnie claims to Fiona that the patron wasn't interested. However, Carl stumbles upon the scene and needs answers. Before long, Carl is taking advantage of being offered a job at Webster's garage. With Kevin and an annoyed Abby out of the way, Carl calls Fiona and takes delivery of a dodgy car. Is he operating a scam from unsuspecting Kev's business? 6. Carla Connor has a request for Lisa Swain. Carla asks Lisa if she meant what she said about their future. After a turbulent few months, Lisa had told her partner that she wanted to grab onto happiness. But what else has Lisa said? And how does Carla feel about the declaration? Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more movie spoilers next week. Goodbye and see you again.